What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 build video. Now this is going to be a special build video for you guys. This is for all you raid players who just love Operation Dark Hours. This is for you heroic players, level 4 control points, bounties, what have you, anything PVE related. This is a build for you. This is an aces and eights build, and this thing hits like no other. I'm talking 1.4, 1.5, 1.6 million per bullet. This is a great build, you guys. So, without further ado, I am Kamikazevondoom. If you guys enjoy this in any way, shape, or form, make sure you hit that thumbs up. If you have any questions at all for me, let me know in the comment section below. And if you are new to this channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe and ring that notification bell. That way you get notified each and every time I bring you guys another Division 2 video. Now, shout out to the DOD, and let's get into this. This is a gear score 499, but that doesn't even matter. Here is my aces and eights build. This is the aces and eights build. The only one you need. This is pretty much just amazing. This gives you great support for your team. If you guys like to do like speed runs for the raid, this is a perfect build to have, especially when everyone on your team is running the SVD. This is a perfect one to add to that group. This gives you ample of damage in every direction, and it is amazing to watch the elites fold as fast as they do. Starting off with the specialization, this is a sharpshooter build. When you use aces and eights, it requires you to use sharpshooter. So just so you know, have that specialization maxed out. Now I am using the paratroop SVD and Nemesis combo. And then for my sidearm, I'm using the Sharpshooter 93R. And this one has Ranger, Distance, and Overlap. Now, as far as the weapons go, man, this thing is at 106.1k base damage. That's before Ace's proc, that's before the Nemesis, that's before everything. 106.1k. And with the amount of damage and damage to elites, with headshot damage on this build, this thing just shreds NPCs. I am telling you. The Buddy and Lucy, you can get them done in seconds. Weasel, you can get them done in seconds. Dizzy and Ricochet, all of that. You can even do the damage for Razorback. It's just a really good, I mean, Boomer, same thing. You can get him down in 1 or 2 engagements. It just depends on what team you're running with. But if you're running with a good squad, this is definitely a great build to add to that. I am telling you. So, as far as the paratroop SVD, this is at 106.1k base damage. It has Ranger, so depending on the distance, every 5 meters I am away from the target, I gain 2% weapon damage. That's vital as well. And then I have the Accurate and Cannon. I would love to have Allegro on here, or something else, but it is what it is. I'm just really enjoying the base damage. Now, as far as the secondary Nemesis, for multiple reasons, using the Nemesis, especially on Weasel, Ricochet, Dizzy, Boomer, the Nemesis is great. For ads and proccing aces and everything, the SVD is amazing. And then for Razorback, obviously the TAC 50 all day long. But as far as this Nemesis, our main reason for it is preparation. It's a holstered talent. So I keep this as my secondary, and I use the Paratrooper SVD. And with that, as this is holstered, you gain 15% headshot damage when you're scoped into your current weapon. So what that means, right here, you have to have a scope. It doesn't matter what kind, it needs to make sure it says scope. So for example, I am using the C79 scope for the damage to elites. You can use the ACOG scope, the CQBSS scope, digital scope. You could even use the small RDS scope or the VX1 scope. As long as it says scope and you are aiming, holding down left trigger if you're playing console, if you're holding that down and you're aiming with a scope, you get that headshot damage. That is vital for this build because you are going for those headshots. Now for the other weapon mods I have on this beast, I have the tightly packed marksman mag for the extra magazine. I have the angled grip just for a little bit of stability. So if I'm spamming an NPC trying to get aces and eights real quick, I want to try to make sure I have a little bit of stability. And then for the muzzle brake, I use more damage to elites because this thing destroys elites. Those are your weapons. So doing a quick overview of the build, it's an 18-3-0 build. With that, my primary base damage 106.1k. I have 207.3k armor and 34.3k health. It is not a tanky build. This is for a agent that has experience with running snipers, has experience with running the raid or whatever mission you're running, and you really want to optimize your build to the fullest potential. You're going to use it this way. You're not going to try to use this and go solo a mission. You're going to play with a good team, and this is a great support build for that team. To make this thing happen, you have to have 4 pieces of aces and eights. So I chose the mask, backpack, the knee pads, and the holster. I have a chest piece with perfect vigilance, and then I'm running the Alps climbing gloves. So let's actually get into it. Aces and eights mask. This is 2 reds for the attributes. Damage to elites at 43, and then I rolled 9.5 crit chance. It comes with a red mod, so of course I threw on there weapon damage and marksman rifle damage. The backpack, aces and eights, 2 reds and a blue. I have crit chance at 4.5. I rolled 10 weapon damage, and then it came with 7,245 health. It also has hard hitting for the talent, so that's how I get another 25% damage to elites. It also has 2 red mods, so I chose more weapon damage and marksman rifle damage, and then for each of these I was lucky to add damage to health and damage to armor. For the gloves, they are the Alps climbing gloves. This one I rolled 12 marksman rifle damage on it, and then I have that devastating, giving me that 5% weapon damage, and then also a red mod slot with more weapon and marksman rifle damage. For the brand set bonus, out of this piece, I have Alp Summit, so I get that 20% skill haste. For the chest piece, it's the Pristine Example. This is the named Araldi Holdings chest piece. It comes with perfect vigilance. So just so you know, you have 30% more weapon damage, but every time you take any sort of damage, it disables that buff for 4 seconds, and then you have that damage back. So just make sure you're in a good spot, and you should be good to go. Now, for it being Araldi Holdings, you get 10% accuracy from the brand set bonus. This one came with 2 reds. I have crit chance at 15, and then I rolled 13% weapon damage. Besides the perfect vigilance, it also comes with a red and a blue mod slot, so I have on there weapon damage and marksman rifle damage, and then armor and total armor. For the holster, it comes with 2 reds. You have crit chance and crit damage. The crit damage is at 8.5, and then I rolled 15% crit chance. It also has 2 red mod slots, so I put more weapon and marksman rifle damage on those. And then finally, for the knee pads, it comes with crit chance. I put on there 9%, which is max, and then it comes with a red and blue mod slot, so more weapon, marksman rifle damage, and then more armor, total armor. Now, as far as the gear set bonuses for aces and eights, we'll go through those right now. I just wanted to go ahead and show you guys what the rolls were and where I place my mods. But for the aces and eights gear set bonuses, it starts off with the 2 pieces. You get the 10% marksman rifle damage, and then the third gear set bonus, it comes with the talent Dead Man's Hand. So it flips a card every time you hit an enemy, and it flips 2 cards every time you headshot an enemy. Basically, you have 4 cards under your icon. So let me go ahead and show you guys that. And then we'll finish up with the stat sheet, and then we should be done with this video. Now, if this helps you guys in any way, make sure to let me know in the comment section below. And then go ahead and mash that like. So right here, you can see on my icons, bottom right of the screen, there are 5 cards. So what that is saying, Dead Man's Hand, is you get these cards available. Every time you shoot an enemy, it'll flip 1 card. And then when you shoot them in the head, it'll flip 2 cards, as you can see right there. Now that is going to give you different buffs. So right here we go. So it flips a card every time you shoot an enemy, flips 2 cards every time you get a headshot. You can either get Full House, 4 of a kind, or Aces and Eights. When you get Full House, that increases your magazine size by 100% for 10 seconds. If you get 4 of a kind, that grants you 30% bonus armor for 10 seconds. Or if you get Aces and Eights, which is the whole point of this build, you get Aces and Eights, and the next 5 bullets grants you 100% more damage. That is amazing, you guys. So the reason why we run the 4-piece, you can see right here, it gives you that Sheriff's Favor talent. So everything I just said in the Dead Man's Hand now will apply to all teammates that are in your party or raid group. That's why this is key that you play with a group. This isn't just to go solo with. If you did solo, you wouldn't need a 4-piece. So using the 4-piece, you need to be in a group or you need to be in a raid team. And then when you do have this 4-piece, all of the Full House, 4 of a kind, and Aces and Eights procs will apply to all of your teammates, which is also a great thing to have, especially in the raid, because the more Aces and Eights you have on the team, the more times you get Aces and Eights buff, and that's the more damage you're going to have for that raid. It makes the raid and heroic missions go very fast and smooth, and it really helps out everybody. So I hope I explained that to the best of my abilities. And also you can see under right here the 3 and 4 requirements. It says Sharpshooter Specialization required. So you have to have that Sharpshooter activated. And that is the build. So you have 4 pieces of Aces and Eights, you have Perfect Vigilance, and then you have Alps Climbing Gloves. This is how I do it. I love it. And let me go ahead and show you guys some numbers, and then we'll go ahead and finish out with here. So for me, when I test this out and I look at the numbers, you always go to Invulnerable Elite. That way, no matter what, you can just keep hitting them. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit reset right here, and then I'm just going to hit a few shots. Hopefully we can get aces, and then we should be good. So there's 4 of a kind. So right now I'm averaging around 600 to 689 per headshot. Right there, 1.2 million, 1.37 million, 1.22 million, 1.22. So you guys can see, this is all without aces. Here's Full House. There's aces, 1.374. So that is going to be, with this scope, that is going to be the highest with this scope. Now the reason why I'm saying that, and I'm not showing you guys the stats right now, is that you can actually get this damage way up there. So for example, if you use the digital scope from the Sharpshooter Specialization, and then you proc Aces and Eights, so right there, 1.5 million, you guys see? And all I did was change the scope, because now I have more headshot damage. So you can do that, you can mess around with these scopes. I use the damage to elites because it makes it easier for the NPCs. Like the ones that are running up on me, I can just sit there and just ADS them real quick. And you can see even without hitting aces, I'm still hitting 689 crits. That's insane, 692 crit. So just so you know, it is vital depending on what scope you want to use. Because you could do lower headshot damage, but digital scope is the largest headshot damage you could get. And then for the C79, this is the most damage to elites you can get. Now as far as a sight, you could use this hollow sight for the 8% damage to elites. However, using that sight instead of a scope, you will not be able to get that nemesis headshot damage. Because remember, on that nemesis talent, it clearly states you have to be scoped in with your current weapon. So make sure that whatever optic you use, it is a scope. Alright, so I hope I explained that to the best of my abilities. Alright, so finish off with the stat sheet. Weapon stats. I have 106,138 damage on my SVD. We're not playing PvP, so that doesn't matter. For my crit chance, I have 53 crit chance. You could change up the scope and the muzzle and all that and get your crit chance up a little bit higher, but remember, we're going for damage to elites. For my crit damage, I'm at 34, headshot damage 163. Again, I am using a damage to elite scope. You could get that headshot damage well over 200, but you'd have to use that digital scope to do so. As far as accuracy, I'm at 25 and stability 40. I have 5 weapon handling, and then as far as my damage bonus, I have 40 all weapon damage bonus and 72 marksman rifle bonus. So that has me at 112 damage bonus total. 40 for the all weapon and 72 for the marksman rifle. And then remember, I said damage to elites. Currently, I'm at 78 damage to elites. And as we all know, if you're doing the raid or a heroic mission, level 4 control point, what have you, you're going to have a lot of elites. And then I do have that 1% armor damage and 1% health damage. Now I am running that hard-hitting, perfect vigilance, and devastating with the aces and eights. On the defense tab, this is pretty low on armor and health, but I still have over 200. I'm at 207, 338 for the armor, and 34,300 for the health. And that is about it, you guys. Go down, I have 20% skill haste, so that makes things a little bit nice. And there you have it. 106.1k base on a SVD. This is my raid build. Whenever I run aces and eights, this is what I use for level 4 control points, heroic missions, whatever I do PVE wise. I like to use this build whenever I can. If I have someone else running aces and eights, I'll switch, of course, but I actually prefer running it. It's a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I am Kamikazevondoom. If you guys have any questions at all about the build, let me know in the comment section below. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. And don't forget, hit that like, subscribe to the channel. DOD's out.